this emoticon pillow right here I bought because he kind of looks like me. Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Drive 2. My name's Ramney, and today I want to talk about something that I found pretty interesting about the creator of One Punch Man. Now, if you guys don't know, One Punch Man started off as a web manga, and it gained enough popularity that the author, whose name we actually don't know, he just goes by the pseudonym One, he thought it was a good enough project to continue for an entire year. So when the comic started to get popular, what he did was he went to work and he decided that he would work for an entire year so he can save up money so that he can work on making One Punch Man full-time for one full year, 365 days. So he did that, and after a while, however, he started to have second thoughts, and he had friends and peers that are telling him to not quit his day job to pursue drawing manga. But he had a huge enough following on Twitter that when he said that he was not going to quit work, a more popular manga artist told him, you know what, I'm going to take you in and I'm going to help you produce One Punch Man, the manga. I came across an interview with One, the creator of One Punch Man. This was an interview that was translated into English, but there are a couple of things that I found really interesting that I want to talk about with you guys. I'm going to read off a little bit of the interview and I'm going to post that on the screen right here so you guys can follow along. So basically the interviewer asked him what led to him becoming a webcomic creator and what led him to start making One Punch Man, and this is his response. I kept drawing manga from grade school onward but never told anyone else about it, not even once. In grade school, everyone else was into soccer or whatever video games were popular at the time, so I guess I was afraid of looking uncool if I drew manga. From middle school to college, I'd have friends who read manga but didn't know anybody who drew manga themselves, so I felt embarrassed about it. In the end, I went my entire student life without showing my manga to anyone or even telling people that I drew manga. But then, my parents got angry at me a few times when they found out I had drawn a gag manga called Middle-Aged Man in my notebooks. In fact, I filled up about 50 notebooks just with manga. And this last part of that paragraph is what I want to highlight for you guys. It says, but what hurt the most wasn't getting chewed out for goofing off. Rather, it was having something I love to do be rejected. You guys could probably tell from the bookshelf behind me that I am a huge nerd. When I was growing up in the Philippines, reading comic books was what taught me how to read and speak English. And I used to collect these little Marvel trading cards. I still have tons of them, and in a separate video I'll show you guys more about it. But basically what I'm trying to say is that I've always been a comic book nerd, and in elementary school, junior high, high school, I did find a group of friends who were into the same things I was, but later down the years in high school, I found nobody who was interested in comic books. In fact, in the school that I went to, just being into comic books was such a nerdy, uncool thing. So it is one of the things that I hid from everybody. And the things that I draw now with you guys, I also used to draw them when I was younger. But you go to high school, and in high school, when I went to art classes, they would talk about classic artists, different art styles, and things like that. And the thing was, manga and comic books were not really taught, and it was sort of looked upon as a less important art form. So even later on in high school, in grade 12, my desire for drawing comic books or drawing in a comic book style was sort of suppressed, if you guys know what I mean. And I see that parallel here with the creator of One Punch Man, where he was ridiculed and looked down on for liking manga. And what sucks the most is that he was doing something that was really harmless. It's not like he was going around and being a horrible person. He just liked manga, but it was frowned upon by his family and his friends. Now, the reason why I'm doing a YouTube series on how to draw all of these cool pop culture characters was because that was a passion that I had as a kid, to want to draw these kinds of things. You know, I wanted to draw Spider-Man, I wanted to draw Wolverine, I wanted to draw the Avengers, and I wanted to draw, you know, the Justice League. But as you grow up, people tell you that, you know, being an artist isn't really a feasible career choice, and that if you want to make money, you need to look elsewhere because you are going to be a starving artist. And so that's what I did, and that's what a lot of people do. They would quit something that they're passionate about because other people would say that it is not a feasible job in the future. So a lot of people would go into careers that they don't really care much about, and in the end, they let their passions kind of just fade away. For me, it's not that I dislike teaching. I really love it, and that's the reason why I'm doing this YouTube tutorial thing with you guys. But what I've decided to do is to take back what I was passionate about as a kid, which was to draw and to be immersed in this comic book culture here. And I wanted to take that and turn it into something that I can do for a living. And that's what I am trying to do with this. So the fact that I'm a teacher and the fact that I love comic books, I decided to put both of those together and create this YouTube channel. And so my advice for you guys is to find what you're passionate about. And if you guys are passionate about art, and if you're passionate about creating something and drawing, or building something with your hands, then I suggest that you guys be creative and look to see if that can be something that you can do as a career. Don't resort to a career that you do not want if your heart is not into it, because honestly, money is not a good enough motivation. And even though you're making a lot of money, if you really hate your job, you are not going to be happy. You yourself know what you're passionate about, and I guarantee you guys, if you are creative enough to find something that you're passionate about and make a career out of it, then that's awesome. I totally encourage you guys to do that. But that's not to say that I'm telling you to go against your parents' wishes or anything like that. That is not what I'm trying to say here, because after all, your parents are just looking out for your best interests. What I'm trying to say is you have dreams. Find a way to make those dreams come true in a realistic way. So that means that you guys have to be realistic on what you really want to do and what your abilities are. You know, when you watch American Idol and there are just some of those people who think they sing really well, but they actually don't. They're just horrible at singing. But they are convinced that they are the next Celine Dion or Ariana Grande. And that's what you want to avoid. You want to avoid thinking that your abilities are more than they are. And what you need to be is to be a lifelong learner. You need to know what your strengths are, and you need to know what your weaknesses are, and keep on working on those. And that is something that you will need to do your entire life. And for me, I wanted to be a comic book artist, and the creator of One Punch Man, he also wanted to be a manga artist. For him, his persistence broke through all of the barriers, and he did eventually become what he wanted to be. And for me, I don't consider myself to be a failure, but I saw my dream evolve, and instead of wanting to be a comic book creator, what I ended up doing is something completely different, but also within the same field. Here I am, teaching you guys how to draw on YouTube. It's not exactly as prestigious as being a comic book artist, but what I get out of it and what I get out of you guys is so satisfying that I don't even consider this to be a job. It doesn't feel like a job. And so my desire to be an artist evolved into me teaching you guys how to draw on YouTube. So there was that gradual shift and that gradual change in my dream. I encourage you guys to not be so narrow-minded with your dreams, because there might be other paths that you don't even know about right now that will come along for you to finally get to where you want to be. I apologize for the rambling in this video. I don't have a script right now, and I'm just speaking my mind, but I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Be realistic about your dreams. You need to hustle hard, you need to be creative, and not be so close-minded as to what that dream of yours is going to look like in the future. And if you guys are into really nerdy stuff like video games, action figures, movies, anime, or manga, that is not something to be ashamed of, and you should feel proud of your own individuality. So that is my rant today. Thank you for listening. If you guys have not seen my Saitama tutorials, I have links to those. I'm gonna put them right here below me right now. If this is your first time here, I would love to have you guys subscribe. Here in this channel, I usually do a lot of tutorials on your favorite characters and easy to follow, simple step-by-step instructions, and on occasion, I do rants and vlogs like this one. If you guys haven't already, come on by and press that red subscribe button that's just below me right here. And if you found my message to be insightful, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Like this video or share this video with your friends who you think will benefit from the message. Don't forget, you can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Google+. In Google+, we have a growing community of awesome artists that are sharing their artwork there. So come on and join us and post your artwork on Google+ as well. The links to those are in the description below. And as always, you guys, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more so you can learn to draw too. We'll see you in my next tutorial. That bookshelf. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. All right, let's go. Let's do this.